another live audience show on Wednesday. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Folabi Brown. As always, I have my co-host here. Hi, ladies.
Hi, Mariah.
Nima in the building.
Yo, yo, yo.
So I missed this cake because I was fasting.
Okay.
And I wish I had it because the image of the cake didn't leave my head.
It was sweet.
The image of the cake was really nice yesterday.
Yesterday's show, the feedback for me wasn't too good. People thought we were encouraging something wrong because we didn't probe our guest when he said that he allowed an AS marry a sickler marry an AS and lived abroad. So we are not encouraging this in any way. We try to give the other side of the story because the first show was seriously criticized by people who thought it was too harsh.
It's not going away because I got calls. People want another person.
I just won't let my phone rest.
The traditional ruler, no, the traditional healer. I think he's what do you call that thing? Alternative medicine.
Medicine, yes.
Wants to come on because he feels
on the sickler issue.
He can actually cure it. He says he cures sickle cell. So he also wants to come on the show. So we're thinking of how we can bring him on because he said I asked, are you NAFDAC approved? He said yes. So since NAFDAC has approved his medicine, we can actually bring him on the show to talk about it. So hopefully we might have a part 3 of this because this issue has refused to go away. Anyway, Jimmy.
What I caught from the prophecy wasn't encouragement, but saying that some people will still make the decision, regardless of all the information that you give to them. You know, and well, you just never know. They may decide to adopt rather than have children. They may be lucky. It's a 25% chance in every pregnancy. So they may be lucky to have one child without, you know. But the S gene isn't disappearing, and we're not encouraging in any way. We're just saying for the people who are victims, how do you help them live a happier, better life? I'm amazing, and I'm very grateful to God.
Great. How you doing, rapper?
That's all. That's all.
Hey, Madam Rapper.
I've been amazing.
How's the rap business going?
Yeah, it's going well. I just came back from set yesterday. I've been filming.
Have you blown?
I'm on the blowing process.
Yeah, you must blow. You must
I have to blow. So I've been filming. I've been recording. I have a couple of lectures to give this weekend on education. So I'm really, really busy this time around. And I'm having fun. I'm living my life. That's the basic thing for me.
This my coffee is not hot today. It's so cold.
Yeah.
But I can see the steam.
It is cold. I'm drinking
Mariah
it.
has a cooler in her mouth. It has to be steaming hot.
I need them to reboil the water and give me really hot tea. This is pure. This is like freezing cold.
How are you,
How are you doing?
But I'm doing well. I'm excited. A lot of things are happening. I'm trying to remember what happened. But I'm so excited we're talking about child safety tomorrow. Because something happened with my kid yesterday, 2 days ago. And I mean, we need to really talk about child safety. People need to be careful, especially have toddlers in the house. You have to be really careful. Something, it was really low, but I'll share it tomorrow because we're talking about it. Any plans for the weekend? Any great things happening this weekend?
Excuse me, it's still Wednesday.
It's midweek. Let me come to our audience. Any interesting things? How are you guys doing? Any first-timers here? Please wave your hands. Your first time on Your View. Hey, hi. Lady in orange, first time. Great.
We like your top.
You don't have a mic yet, so I won't make you talk, but at least wave to the audience, to our viewers at home. Great. Cool. All right, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll go through the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Great. So we're going to start with the Punch. It's unjust to say I'm silent on killings by headsmen, says Buhari. President not doing enough to end killings, says Reps. Inspector General removes Plateau CP. FG has failed, says CDHR. Picture here of Obi Ezekwesili. Plateau killings, Ezekwesili embarks on lone protest to Aso Villa. Don't use Southwest land for cattle ranches, Afenifere tells governors. SARS operative shatters Ogun teacher's leg with bullet. Housewife sets 13-year-old son ablaze in Abia. I didn't read that story.
I read it too.
Banks must get Adeosun's approval before lending to states, says DMO. And Punch appoints new chairman and director. So the two daughters of the former owner.
The former owner and two sisters of
the late owner, actually, not former, the late owner. Right?
And the two siblings, of the late chairman.
The chairman,
So
yes.
straight into the human
interest story. This guy that was shot.
A civil servant in Ogun State, Olamide is his name, was caught in a very, very terrible SARS situation. So SARS had attacked a community and federal SARS, and someone had made a video of what the issue was, and once they spotted that guy making the video, they attacked him, and then the crowd also attacked them by stoning them, and then started shooting into the crowd. Oh my God. So people started running, and one of the federal SARS caught up with this guy and said, "You were among those stoning," and he insisted I wasn't among. A physics teacher. And in the confrontation, he tried to walk away.
He said, "I will shatter your leg."
Said, "I will shatter your leg." And before he knew it, his left leg, just like that. He's made reports. This happened June 12. He's made several reports, but nothing is been done. And the guy is just like that. He's living in pains now.
As a fallout of our interview with the hashtag, end hashtags, and with where we had police spokesperson, PROs, calling in. They actually say they've actually said they're going to go on a face-to-face debate on this to discuss it, because we need to make it.
They disagreed eventually, because Shegun was saying that he wants to go face-to-face with the IGP.
Okay, I think, yes.
Because we really need to discuss will now start saying things. And Mead also mentioned in the report that the day after his own attack happened, another attack happened in Ogun State, and the person attacked this time was killed.
His name is Awilo.
And he's alleging that the police have refused to even investigate the matter.
That's why we need to look further into this issue of SARS. We can't sweep it on the carpet.
Well, quickly, there's also a small story under the human interest.
The housewife set 30-year-old son
her own son.
Okay.
She set him ablaze for claiming that he stole her the memory card of her phone.
Whoa.
Herself and her friend locked the boy up in the kitchen, poured him kerosene, set him ablaze, trying to force him to confess to something the boy kept saying, "I didn't have."
Her own son.
You can, even if he's not her son, someone says, "I don't have something," you don't have concrete evidence that he took it, and you keep accusing. This form of investigations that we see among our security agents in a family.
This is a mental
issue. He didn't
issue.
take it. He said he didn't. And the father of the poor boy had to come. The boy had more than fourth degree burns. Right. He was burnt beyond, you know.
He's alive?
He died. After they struggled, took him from hospital to hospital.
All right,
I think that woman should just be, she should be hanged.
Let's move on to the nation. This is just a sad story. Killings, Buhari to put more pressure on security chiefs. Picture here of remains of an articulated vehicle carrying foodstuff, which was burnt by the attackers during the recent killings in Jos. Let me take a quote from, I think I'll take it somewhere else. How will get power to all Nigerians by federal government? Mikel, referee admitted ball touched Argentina defender's hand. Afenifere won't tolerate ranches. Police warn as Ibadan butchers protest relocation order. And kidnapped Kingpin Evans bid to stop his trial fails again.
I want to take the major headline.
Okay.
President Buhari, well, in Jos yesterday, was saying, you want to take it somewhere else?
It's everywhere.
Yeah, there's. So
I was going to just deal with the Super Eagles issue once and for all in the nation. Yeah, so Mikael Obi, the captain of the Super Eagles, was talking to the press saying that the referee this match had admitted that the ball touched the hand of the Argentina goalkeeper and refused to give the penalty that was due. And when he asked him, he said, "I don't know why he didn't give it." So you know, like I said yesterday, Argentina usually have these issues with us, and we're hoping that the cameras will help us this time. Even though the camera found them wanting, we didn't get our penalty.
So I have the Afenifere story.
Yes.
They have rejected the federal government's cattle ranch plan in 6 states and all Yoruba-speaking states. They are coming out to say that the plan is imperialist. They are trying to just make sure that they strategize themselves in different states. And they discussed this in their meeting, their monthly meeting yesterday. They also said that cattle rearing is a private business, and so the government should not be involved in it except it has a sinister motive.
Okay. All right, let's move on to Daily Sun.
They are saying what I've said every day. Please, beat Governor Fayose anyhow that you want. There are no headsmen in his states.
Okay, let's move on to Daily Sun. U.S. demands trial of Plateau killers. Buhari in Jos calls for prayers to end insecurity. EU to monitor South State election, says Irish envoy. Abaribe freed as court washes hand off arrest. APC governors pay solidarity visit to Plateau Friday. Wike approves automatic jobs for Rivers PhD graduates. And World Cup, it's over for Eagles. Let's talk about the Plateau killings, please. Because our president has finally gone there. and he's saying they're going to put more pressure on security officials. And he's saying that, in fact, let me take the quote.
He was saying Punch that it's unfair for people to say that he wasn't, that he was silent.
Yeah. Let me read his quote. According to, I think it's Garba Sheru actually that said this. Take, for instance, the situation in Benue. The Benue subsistence farmer knows that the Nigerian cattle herder that he knows doesn't carry anything more than a stick, occasionally sometimes, maybe a cutlass to cut his grass. But the present herder, I'm told, carries AK-47, and people are blaming me for not talking to them because maybe they look like me. That's the president talking. No,
Garba Shehu was talking on behalf of the president. Meanwhile, the president was there. How come they're quoting his spokesperson? Why?
That's even besides the point for me. Yeah, I want to quickly use the picture on the sun for my story now.
Okay, yes.
We have, this is general knowledge. We have had innocent lives taken in place of cows stolen. We have criminal laws against stealing. We did not exhaust that option before we took a retaliatory move, which has been admitted to by the spokesperson for the cattle herders. And we have an admission. These are facts, existing facts. Now, one Nigerian, harmless Nigerian, decides to go on a lone protest. And all the security men around the president decides to manhandle, maltreat, and shove this woman on an innocent protest. I find it annoying, and I want to stand with Ebezekoseli on this. Until we have prosecution and conviction, because these people can be found. If someone can pick a call and say, we've killed him, you can trace that call. If we can find them and until we have that prosecution, the killings will continue.
Is even far. Ordinary questioning.
Even
because
them
Miyetti has come out to say,
we can pick this guy. So lock him up for 6 weeks, put him down, let him name names.
Pick them up first.
These things are possible. And until we have actions, strong actions taken against this, the platoon man who decides to defend himself, is not at fault. The killings will then continue because these people will not find closure. That's the point we say. When you have institutions, we have a justice system.
So it's not so much about the...
institutions must be doing their job.
Are we saying that it's not so much that the president goes there? It's like we want to really see...
I don't care if he goes there. Because you see, the president might be doing something, but for me, his efforts as regards this has not been effective. Whatever he's doing is not effective. He's not stopping.
This morning, people see that in Nasarawa. Let's move on to Vanguard. Death toll now 135 as Buhari visits Plateau. I think we talked about that already. Power, World Bank, Africa Development Bank, others raise $1.5 billion for Nigerian grid expansion. PDP presidential ticket, Atiku Turaki meets forum of ex-presiding officers. Excuse me. Let's see. Oshomole assumes office. Says Obasanjo must return the $16 billion power funds or face trial. Union seeks Buhari's intervention as another Nigerian killed in South Africa. That was in Pretoria. He was killed. And average of one Nigerian weekly. One Nigerian weekly is killed in South Africa.
I said here, we must take action. It's not stopping. That's one. The person speaking for is called the Union of Nigerians Living in South Africa. The spokesperson was still saying that the week before, another man was killed. This one is Ebuka that was killed again.
36-year-old.
If we cannot even talk
36
here,
at its prime.
How can we take strong actions against our people being killed unnecessarily in foreign land?
I've mentioned that before also.
And they are very quiet on this show. As you people are just saying, you are just repeating things I said months ago. And in fact, I'm okay.
You okay, the prophet.
I'm telling you. Look at me, just quiet.
All right.
Prevent it will happen.
Yes. All right, so let's move on to Nigerian Tribune. I think we don't have time for any more papers. Let's move on very quickly. Unfortunately, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. Wow. But I think now that football is out of the way, we can focus on the issue of Plateau State. We are not going to take no for an answer. We need answers. And the least they can do, at least, is arrest the spokesperson who's saying that it was retaliatory. No problem. Tell us those who are retaliating. Those who lost their own accounts. Let us see them. Let us find out who are
evidence from the reports that we've had to get a conviction.
It's a painful situation. Let's go on a break now. When we come back, we're still talking about Nigeria. Nigeria, they said, according to new reports, that is the world's poorest country. We'll discuss that later. We'll also have LASTMA officials in the house to tell us what they're working on. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
The Poorest.
Welcome back to Your View.
So, thanks for staying with us. According to Brookings Institution, Nigeria has now taken over as a nation the highest number of extremely poor people. The report also says that the number of Nigerians in extreme poverty increased by 6 people per minute, taking over from India. Now, when this news came, everybody was wondering, okay, we're kind of distracted with the World Cup, but now let's focus. What are your thoughts on this? To give us your view, call us on 070-806-68014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Part of this report was saying that of the 18 poverty-stricken countries across the world, Africa has 14.
Hey!
And Nigeria, #1.
I mean, we know there's poverty in Africa. But you see, the issue is, what is our strategic approach to combat poverty? Other countries have been poor. Singapore, we know, has been poor.
China, India.
Everybody had some kind of approach, but it's almost as if we have no direction on this issue of poverty. Jumoke, I want to jump in here.
Our approach in Nigeria, in particular, seems to be religious.
Okay. Right, calling for the divine.
So we buy land that we ought to use to grow fruits, be them cash or crop, that we can export and send them to churches.
And warehouses.
Forbes magazine did a survey. The 10 richest pastors all over the world, 4 of them are Nigerians. #1 is a Nigerian. #3 is a Nigerian. So in the midst of lack of proper good governance, that we ought to start to say, what's our educational structure? What's our health policy? Where we ought to face our government and demand that we start to lay foundation. That even though we may not benefit from, our children's children will benefit from, the majority of us head to church.
Okay,
so
okay, let me let you
my question is, how can we alleviate poverty when our country is nationally unstable? Politically unstable? We are calling on foreign investors to come and invest, and we haven't cleaned up our security issues. I was reading a report recently about Kano State. About 20 companies in Kano are already leaving that region. So what happens when they go? Economic growth and political stability are like 2 peas in a pod. They complement each other. We cannot grow ourselves economically if we are having political issues. Okay. Foreign investors will not come in. Production will not happen.
But how we put the out? See, exactly. That was what I was going to go. How do we get here? Because we've lost that collaborative effort towards progress. It's not about me, myself, my wife, my family. You people go to mosques just demanding blessings for just their own family, just me and my own. Nobody's we're all forgetting that for us to be prosperous, we have to collect. It's a community approach that we must take. Let me let you come in.
Where you have a community where injustice is rife, it's the order of the day. There's most likely to be poverty in that community. As you see that happening in the IDPs, where one person is more equal than others, where all men are equal. There's most likely to be this kind of poverty. And I see it like it seems unending, it's not going to go away. As a child, I remember using Kessin and rainbow products for my hair. Today, I thought they had gone extinct until someone said to me, just cross to Benede. They are working. That's where the factories are now. So it's no longer safe for us to live here because one person has taken what is entitled, what the commonwealth of the country, what a lot of people are entitled to, and diverted for himself alone. So you have robbery, you have crimes being on the increase, more people suffering, more people awaiting trials, not getting the justice that they need. This is what you get. The farmers in Benue who were once occupied no longer have their farmlands to go to.
Their homes.
I am not saying that they didn't steal anybody's cattle, because that is also economic. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that when that person refuses or believes that the justice system will not work for him and decides to take justice into his own hands and kill innocent people, the person's child whose father was killed will most likely resort to crime to defend his family next time.
Use the word the professor for the sickle cell, Professor Otoikan, used. He used the word radical. And do you think we need a radical approach to leadership? Because maybe we need a radical leader. Because see where the radicalism took Ghana. Remember when, what's the general's name that came in?
Jerry Rawlings.
Remember how the radical approach took to China?
Yes.
Singapore. Everybody, there was a radical, somebody has said, you know what, drop the sentiment, drop all these, let's do the due process, and let's have a radical approach. This is what we're going to do.
Radical approach to what?
Exactly.
To education,
to the situation.
No, to health. Because, listen, when we have bridges and railways constructed and maintained by foreigners, what will keep on happening is Nigerians will remain unemployed. So what's our educational policy geared towards? We're not teaching entrepreneurial skills that you can come out of the university and build an industry for yourself. You're not even finding land because somebody has bought it to build a church. Let me give statistics. In the last 3 years, and this was a survey done by a TV station, 11 million Nigerians have lost their jobs. Okay. Every minute in Nigeria today, 6 people go into extreme poverty. What has changed in Nigeria in the last 3 years? And I'm talking about Nigeria of our 58 years old, though. But what has changed in recent times? Our parents used to complain of poverty, but they could at least still eat. Today, it's very difficult for a lot of families to even eat. We're not farming for ourselves again. Before, you have one small farm where you do your own vegetables and everything. We don't have any of that anymore. Well, so we're taking the white man's education and ways of life, and we have not evolved our own to the extent that there wasn't poverty in the days. At least you would eat.
Let me add to that. The policy of providing jobs for the unemployed is good by itself, but it will not take us anywhere if we do not stimulate production.
I didn't say provide jobs, though.
I know. Production drives an economy. Have you gone to Aba? There was a time I wanted to make shoes, and I went to Aba. Those guys are good. We know everybody complains that by the time you give them, it's always inferior and all of that. It's what you pay for. Those people who go there, pay them for that cheap labor because they want to make money. When you pay them for good quality, they give you good quality. Nobody has gone there. So empower these people. Give them machines. They are doing stuff. There are some of the countries, let's take China, for instance, when they were trying to get out of poverty, they banned importation. They were using what they were producing themselves. Do we have that strength?
People are complaining.
Do we have complaining
over this?
We should ban importation.
They are complaining because it's cheaper to import. Until we have the infrastructure to produce cheaper things.
We'll start
poor people cannot afford.
We will start somewhere.
Let me get in because, you see, I don't want us to forget.
Answer the question, how did we get here inviting foreign investments? This is a deliberate, the picture you just made of the Abbas situation is something, a deliberate policy that one state governor can do.
Thank you.
But they won't do it. Now, what are the basic needs of a human? Housing, food, clothing. And our government deliberately leave these things and focus on four-year term. In Singapore, it didn't take a democracy for them to get out of the situation they were in.
Yes.
It didn't happen with the democracy in Ghana either.
Right. So I hear fighting for democracy.
Yes. Senators want to get their big pay. Everybody's trying to fill their pocket.
Let me take this call from
costing us more to run a democracy.
Take this call from Italy. Morning. Thanks for calling. Are you there, Wilson? Go ahead, please.
I'm a first-time caller.
Yes. All the way from Italy.
Welcome.
I want to contribute from what you ladies are saying.
Yes.
You see, in Nigeria, we always put sentiment. This is not about religious problem. We have a problem. Our founding fathers started this country with a way of it can go for everybody. But now we have changed because sentiment has become the day of the day. You can't complain about the pastor. You can't complain about the leadership. If we go back to the regional system we are, this is what Europe are using. This is what even Ghana are using. Why Nigeria? Why are we doing politics in everything? In everything we do, even in the house, even in the church, there's politics. Everything is politics. If we go back to where we are, I think Nigeria will be better today. We will not remain poor. But because we play politics in everything.
Right. Thank you very much, Wilson. Very good point. So, unfortunately, I have to run. Do you have any tweets to take so we can round up?
Moyo says, morning ladies, you're doing a great job. Unfortunately, I hardly have time to watch. Moses Hassan says 90% of our country resources are in the hands of politicians. Take a look at the salaries of public officers. At least politicians in Nigeria take close to 500K a month, and a Nigerian worker take 18,000, of which politicians say they cannot even pay. Wilson says, Professor Mogalu said on your show 2 months ago that Nigeria had become the poverty capital of the world. But some people thought he was playing politics. God help us.
So we now need to agree on what we want as a country.
Yes.
Do we want to play politics? Do we want to focus on democracy? Or do we want a strategic approach to get the people out of
radical.
With a radical approach. All right, let's go on a break. When we come back, curbing excesses of men in uniform. We'll start with those in Lagos, the ones we have access to, LASTMA. Then we'll go on to SARS later. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
We have heard series of stories and reports on the excesses of men in uniform, ranging from SARS to the police and even LASTMA officials. However, report has it that LASTMA excesses has reduced somewhat. Joining us on the show is the General Manager, LASTMA, Mr. Olawale Musa. Welcome to the show, sir. To give us your view colors on 070-806-68014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Right. So we've had several experiences of LASTMA. We understand, we obviously know the objectives of LASTMA to help us reduce traffic issues, motor vehicle traffic in Lagos State. But we've seen people, LASTMA officials extort money from either downfall drivers or the keke maruas or even the bikes. And this has been frustrating. I mean, we as commuters can actually find a way to defend ourselves, but those ones, because they want to do their businesses, they have to sometimes concede to this. What has LASTMA done to help reduce this extortion from these people?
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me start by saying that it's not false that LASTMA, we've seen some LASTMA officers that do it. I've seen them myself on the road, which we try to pick them up. When we get reports, we send people to go and investigate. But you see, the challenge we normally have is we only get reports most of the time. People don't want to come forward, okay? By the time you just make a report and you say, okay, you have to corroborate it because that person has a right to fair hearing. Yes. You now see people, we don't want him to lose the job, oh, please. That guy will continue to do it. Right. Okay, I know you, maybe you've had that conflict. You do it to the next person, your relative and everything. So that's a challenge. Another challenge we normally have is that you find sometimes, not with me although, you find it difficult to sometimes discipline these officers. You will not believe the type of people that will be begging you for somebody that is collecting money on the road. I'm telling you, they start going about, you know, going around.
May I dwell on that, sir? Because at the end of the day, even though the man has done wrong, we are just talking about poverty. You don't want him, you just want him to maybe change. You don't want him to lose his job. So are there corrective measures? Like maybe if he knows that once he's reported, they'll take him off the road. Or reduce his salary.
No, we have different measures. Like what we normally do, if we have a report, firstly we take you off the road. Okay, we have where we place them.
Moving file.
They resume. They don't even. You see there permanently. They call the place Jerusalem by themselves. You see there. You resume 8 o'clock. You close 5, and you go and sign every hour.
That's it.
You know we do that. Okay, it's even more. You don't even give them query. If you put them there, they want to die. You understand? We have so many measures, but you see, it's not something that people see every time. But we need people to continually report to us. You see, it's not when people go to newspaper, TV, they don't come to us.
Yes.
They are not
police complain of that as well.
I had an issue with, you know, some of these motorists, when you're trying to hold them, they are running back and, you know, they cause accidents and all of that, sometimes killing themselves in the process. But, you know, when you travel outside the country and you commit an offense, they don't come chasing after you. Like
on the road.
A couple of LASTMA people have jumped into my car in recent times, you know. They take your number, probably your plate number or whatever, and you get your ticket in your house. Nobody's chasing you. You have committed the offense. We've told you about it. Can't we have something like that to avoid all these unnecessary accidents that are happening on the road?
Yeah, it's very easy to say that. I can tell you for a fact that those people that you see, those countries that you are talking about, when you register your vehicle, when you change your address, you must go and change your address where you registered it.
Okay.
Yeah, you just give any address, you register it.
We don't have data.
So many people come from Ogun State, but way before they come to Lagos and commit offense. Even when our own data in Lagos is okay, out of those that come to Lagos daily, how do we locate them? That's the challenge. You see, if I know that you commit offense, I can come to your house and give. Why do I need to run after you?
Exactly.
You understand? But the challenge is, I have...
How do we know your house?
Presently, I have 200 cases of one way. Okay, that will let them go because if I attempt to, they want to run our officers down. 200. Yes. We could only locate 3 houses.
Okay.
I'm just telling you. You now locate the house, you will see the person living there. You understand? Those are the challenges we have.
It's laughable.
So what's the process? Tell us, because we the people need to understand what the process is. You see, you committed an offense.
Yes.
Is the process jump in the car or stop, or is there a towing vehicle? What exactly is the process?
You see, I can't be particular because each cases you have to handle it based on that peculiarity. Okay. Now, if you commit an offense, okay, I come to you, you have committed an offense. Normally you ask, what did I do? I tell you. Okay, the natural thing is, they say, let's go to our office. You see some people, they won't wind down. They don't even want to talk to you.
We don't like the office.
It's natural, right? Yes. Probably will do the same thing. They don't wind down, okay, and you've committed an offense. That LASTMA officer will not let you go, okay? So you now become, open the door, you don't open the door, you know all those things, you now come in and all those. Okay, you now open the door. Okay, the LASTMA officer drive to my office. I have had several incidences where they abduct our men.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, they abduct the men, take them, they beat them up.
Oh my goodness.
There was an incident that happened at Solo. Even the police officer that came with their vehicle to rescue our men, they vandalized the vehicles.
Okay.
So you know what a LASTMA officer will do that have experienced that? We will not even allow you to drive. We will tell you I'm going to drive myself before you go and kill me. You understand? So it depends on the peculiarity. If you are cooperating, and let me tell you, if you cooperate with the LASTMA officer, even your mere cooperation, they are human beings too.
I enjoy that all the time. So my concern is because whenever we talk about how the police work, people come out and say, what's their welfare like? What would make a LASTMA official want to extort money? What's the welfare like for a LASTMA official? Now, that's my first question. What's their package like? Is it encouraging? Is it motivating enough? And what do you do in situations that where you have your men kidnapped or your men killed, like the one in Apapa that happened? What does LASTMA do to give the LASTMA official enough motivation to do his work without being greedy enough to want to get money or something?
You see, greed will always be greed, whether you have incentive or not.
True.
Okay. All LASTMA officers, they get their salary on the 23rd and they are well paid just like any normal civil servant, and they have additional incentive as that allowance. And everybody is insured. Right. Okay, yes, you see, the truth is, the truth is, you see, corruption is endemic.
We agree.
Okay, and let me give you a story. I won't mention that particular area. I saw one of my officers collecting money. I was irritated. I saw myself, and I picked the officer, and I said, you know, we were talking. Say, Oga, see, I'm a graduate. Look at that. Another law enforcement agency, 5,000 naira every day. I mean, I'm a graduate, and that person doesn't have any rank. You know, I couldn't even do anything because I just thought of it. Okay, what I had to do, remove that officer from that system. Whoa. Okay, because his mentality is already corrupt.
Yes.
You understand? So it's a societal thing too. Okay, what we can only try and do is that we correct them, and people that are recalcitrant, we don't let them go to the road. You stay in the office. You know, it's a process.
So you people have been accused actually that you have like an Oga who expects the boys outside to bring in money. So we catch as many people as we can and we remit money.
Is that true?
That's taking money off.
This is your girl.
That is totally
Are you collecting
false.
That's what I'm asking.
At Ujudubaga, we caught 2 officers. Even the head of that zone, Ujudubaga, never knew what was happening. Whoa. Not to talk of even come to the head office. Money. You see, I say, when you are corrupt, you are corrupt.
Yes.
And you always look for excuses.
calls and tweets. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
So you said something about that people don't report. When we notice excesses of LASTMA, where do we go to? Who do we talk to?
We give, before the program, I'll give you my number.
We're about to close.
We are the surveillance. We have what we call surveillance. These are the people that go in Commonwealth to go and investigate. 081-299-28490.
So we'll scroll the numbers on the screen.
Okay. Then the PRO, 081-299-28503. The Provost Marshal, 081-299-28469. And myself, 081-299-28550. And I keep telling people wherever I go, please, I don't give jobs, okay? And I don't have money.
Let me come to the audience. So we have a question from the audience. Go ahead, please, or comments. Go ahead. The gentleman, go ahead, please.
Good morning. I want to commend your work. My question is it true that you have a target each year for the government? Then secondly, why is it that, especially on Ikorodu Road, why is it that at times you leave some commuter buses whereby you run after some? I learned that you guys have some yellow buses among them. That was my question.
Oh, okay.
Strong allegations.
Let me first of all tell you that for LASTMA, there's no target for LASTMA from Lagos State. Let me disabuse anybody's mind. Okay. Now, even when they do the revenue stakeholders meeting, that everybody that is bringing revenue to the state, LASTMA is not included. That's for you to know that our focus is not...
Is prevention.
Revenue. Yes, it's just that, you know, there's no traffic control without enforcement. It's not possible.
Yes.
Okay, that's not possible. Then you talk about Ikorodu. Let me tell you the truth, is that most of the time, those boys knows the ones that are mad. The yellow buses, because they're on the road, you attempt to hold them, they want to run you down. And when I know, won't I avoid that person?
Yes.
I've expressed it myself that somebody attempted to run me down, passing one way, told me he will kill me. So next time I see that person, if I'm not able to hold it, won't I run away?
Yes.
You understand that? And the truth is, look, I don't own a bus, okay? But I remember when I started my life, when I graduated, I bought a bus, okay, which I was driving. There's nothing that precludes any LASTMA officer from owning a bus. Nothing, okay? But if that bus commits an offense, I have actually held a bus, because I don't like lying, that belonged to a LASTMA officer. And he paid the amount, okay? But you see, this is your field, okay? This is your area of comfort. Like, I'm a pressman, for example. The first thought that will come to my mind is to go and open a newspaper if I want to establish myself. Business. So if it happens, yes, it might, okay? Right. I might not say, because I can't be everywhere. All right. But I'm sure it's cool.
Let me take one more comment. Please, lady, go ahead.
So my experience yesterday, every time I've noticed from Ikorodu, all these long red buses, LASTMA are always after them. Even when they are not guilty. Yesterday, around like 6 a.m., past 6 at Maryland, he insisted that, okay, he dropped someone. Everybody was like, nobody dropped. Why would somebody drop? He said, no, you heard us that everybody have to calm down. Every time, my experience in the red bus, last one we always said, everybody, calm down. And I'll be like, so, we don't have spare teeth here. Why will you ask us to calm down every time? Yesterday, he held us down that we are not going. Until some people now came. One last man was in the bus. It was one that now interfered. That nobody came.
All right, thank you very much.
That red bus. You see the red bus, we had an arrangement with them because we know the owners. So when you commit an offense, LASTMA does not run after them. Okay, you just take the photograph, give them a ticket, we take it to their office. Do you know what they do? They go and change their numbers. Honestly, they remove their numbers. And let me tell you what happens most of the time, because I have experiences, is that when they commit offense, you most likely cannot pick them at that particular time. Because maybe they know they've committed, they can run down any car. So you now pick them when they are most vulnerable. Okay? So by the time they are picking them, you will now say, what offense did he commit now?
Oh.
You understand?
He committed the offense when he was going. Now when it's morning, you now arrest him.
Last month, month before last, I actually took 5 that change their numbers. Okay, that I have to go and say, okay, go and impound them. So we can't locate them. So they commit offense, they run away. Right. So that's the peculiarity that we have with them. But all along, right, we have been meeting with them. They hold meetings with me every time. Right. But you see, their drivers know that they have committed offense and they want to run away with it.
Let's take I can't let you leave without talking about Papa. We at Apapa, it seems like your job ends at that second Rainbow Festac. What is happening at the, what happened?
You see, I need you to visit Apapa and see what we've done. I was born in Apapa. Okay, Apapa Jari, I was born there, so I know the place very, very well. I knew how it was when we were living there. Apapa became a place where you can't even walk, okay? But what we have been able to do is to cleanse inside Apapa first. But you know the problem with moving all these trucks away? You drive them here, they go into the inner roads, okay? There is just no place for them to park. And that is what we in Lagos State is. It's not our job to provide park for them because they are servicing a company, they are servicing an agency who are not doing their job. Okay, so we are providing a 3,000 capacity. Let me tell you, the entire what do you call artillery vehicles you see out that place is not up to 2,000. The day I counted, I could count maybe 900 or 800, and about 60% of them were carrying empty containers to return to the ports.
Yes.
Which is not, it should not happen, okay? We had a meeting with them that we should have a place where they should be parking them. Once you are leaving the ports, don't bring it to the port. We even, as LASTMA, we volunteered a place temporarily where they could use. The thing never materialized.
Let's quickly take some tweets before we run up.
Ademola Alalade says, those men in uniform should have rules of engagement and their activities should be guided by those rules of engagement. If those rules of engagement are not followed, then heads of those parastatals should be fired because they cannot manage their parastatals. Tessie says, they need to train and retrain our men in uniform. Also, technology needs to be deployed on our roads and society. Let them realize that they're out to serve. It's what we can do to save the society.
And technology, you guys doing that?
Yeah, we are just introducing what we call the ANPR, automatic number plate recognition.
Okay. Nice.
Well, you know, yeah, it's in the works. We've tested it. It's going to work, but we're still going to have that challenge. What we will try to do is that we don't need to run after you. We can pick your number. We know where you are.
Our brothers come to life.
That's on ground. Okay. But I should tell you that we have the challenge that if you come outside Lagos, we don't have your data. It's another issue. Now, training, okay. We always train our men. But I also tell you that respect is reciprocal.
Yes.
So true.
Very, very. If you don't talk to me properly, too. Look, I as GM, I don't even mind. Call me houseboy. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not houseboy. But that young guy, that young graduate that you see on the road because he's wearing uniform, you start talking to him, he might react. Okay, so we also have
a part to play.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we have to go. Thank you so much, Sharon. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So we're done with LASTMA. Hopefully, we get another.
We are looking for police. Nigerian policemen.
Let's break it down. Thank you. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.